Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome back to another raid video. This is a showcase. This will be a showcase of one of the best teams, I would say, for the Phantom Shogun. It does require very specific things in order to make it work, but it is a fun team to build nonetheless. It does require blessings for the most part. One important blessing, and that can even be used on epic champions. It's called the Crushing Rend. We all know how strong Crushing Rend is. If you have a look at Crushing Rend, when you've got a 5 or 6 star, it actually makes you that much more powerful. Your champion now can ignore up to, I believe it's 32%, or it's 35%. It depends on the levels of the enemies that you're fighting, and you're ignoring defense based on that. If your champion has ignored defense on their kit already, then it just adds up on top of that. It makes them that much more powerful. And some champions make use of this very, very well. And that's why they can be used in teams like this. Teams like this one that I'll showcase today. The team that I'll show, it's not the best team, okay? Because this is not on my account. This is an account that I've logged on to work on. It's a takeover. So you'll see some inconsistencies probably that could happen, but it does work this way sometimes with these teams because you are restricted in terms of changing gear and champions, having some champions used for other dungeons. So let's say Lady Mikage, which will be used on this team, I couldn't change her speeds because they have to be high enough for Fire Knight, and this is a Phantom Shogun showcase. Let me show you guys the team right now. This is the team. There's some mix and match that you can do. There's some champions you can switch in there, and you don't really need them, but the biggest showcase here is going to be Whisper, okay, with the 6-star Crushing Rend. Newt is amazing here, but can also be replaced by another champion who is attack based that probably has Crushing Rend in their kit, or big ignore defense attacks, or a very strong A1 skill. Because we're using double ally attack champion here, we're using Riho because she can apply defense down weaken, which is basically needed here. Although if you've got other champions that can apply these, you can use them. And especially if you've got the feral set available, a 9-piece feral set, that is 5% for each debuff that you can apply. If I had this on for Riho, it could be potentially a huge boost to the team's damage, which for this account that I've logged on, I didn't have access to. Even on my main account, I don't have access to a 9-piece feral. It's just very random on how you're going to get it because of the siege and whether you win the siege or not. So Riho Bone Spear will be applying the defense down weaken. We've got the double ally attack and then the 2 attackers here, okay? Newt here plays a big role because he can also decrease the target's defense by 3%. It's not huge, the amount that he does. It's 9% because it's a triple hit, but he also does 10% of the boss's health in terms of damage. So that helps us. It helps us a lot because that is where Whisper will follow up next in order to beat the boss. So let me show you guys the team, and we'll come back and I'll explain some things that could have been optimized. If I had the opportunity to, I would have optimized them better in terms of changing the speeds, making things work in a better synergy in order to optimize the clear time. And if some of these things happen, maybe this team will fail. And one of them is basically the boss attacking our highest crit damage ally, which, spoiler alert, must not be your 2 attackers. It has to be one of these 3. And for this one, it's specifically Longbeard with, let me just show you guys, just to give you guys an idea of how to set these up for Phantom Shogun. He's got 324 crit damage, and then the next highest up is Whisper with 310. So whatever you do, one of the supports has to have higher crit damage than your next damage dealer, which is Whisper. So let's just dive in. We'll see the team in action, and hopefully we'll get a win. If this was like a bigger hit, we probably would have died. So here the ally attack happens. It's not ideal because we don't have any debuffs on. So here come the debuffs. Defense down weaken is huge. There goes Newt doing 30% of the boss's health. Then we go with the ally attack, and then we follow up with Whisper. Okay, there's the double hit. She gets an extra turn and follows up, clears this dungeon in 22 seconds. And a good amount of turns. I believe it's under 15 turns because it did complete one of the achievements on the account. I've cleared it on 20 seconds and all that. So this is how the team works. How could I have optimized this better? Because this is not optimized. If you saw, Lady Mikage basically starts up with her ally attack when there's no debuffs on. So no defense down Whisper's A1 doesn't do the optimum amount of damage. A way that you could optimize this is make Riho the fastest of the team. But remember, for this dungeon on 25, you need like 500 accuracy minimum, plus a good amount of speed. And Lady Mikage here is about 330 speed. So getting that on this account was very difficult without breaking tons of other teams, which I was very restricted into doing that. So I chose to try and find my way around and make this work without changing basically any other champion on the account. Okay, just trying to work with gear that was available from the forge and stuff like that. It does happen sometimes with takeovers, but you gotta make it work, right, without breaking the account. So here we get a big hit on us. A Longbeard survives. We go in there again with the attacks. We do about 10% of the boss's health. There's a defense down and weaken. Following up with Newt, we drop the boss to about 55%. Then we follow up again with some hits from the ally attack. Then there's Whisper, and then she follows up with a double hit, because when there's defense down and weaken, Whisper can get an extra attack on her A3. Fantastic, okay? This is what you want out of your Phantom Shogun 25. You want this clear time. Let me show you guys on the builds, okay? So Lady Mikage has no specific build. It's basically a solid resist, a little bit of accuracy, but very high speed. This is used for Fire Knight, so 339 speed, very much so required for the Fire Knight. If you ever built your team for Fire Knight, you need that. Masteries don't really matter. War Master is nice though for extra damage. I could have used Ninja here, for example, on this account to push for this dungeon, but he was built already for the Sand Devil, so I couldn't change his speeds, couldn't change his gear at all, so chose not to go with Ninja. There's different teams with Ninja. I believe I showcased in the past on my account. I could have chosen other champions here in terms of what else to put in there, but I was again very limited. There was like a Farrak in the Fat, I believe, here, but he's already built for Fire Knight, so didn't go with him. We've got Newt with 300 speed and about 200% crit damage. Not a lot, but he's built for Fire Knight, very fast in order to help with the turn meter control through his freezes. So that's why he's built with this specific setup. I couldn't change him as well. Couldn't make him slower, but it's totally fine. It doesn't change much, as you saw from the run. Then we got Riho coming in next. Again, if I had a 9-piece Feral, I would have used it on her, but no 9-piece Feral was available. Barely at 500 accuracy, almost 284 speed, which is very nice. If you do manage to apply defense down on weekend, it works very well for your damage dealers. Then we follow up with Longbeard. 1-star blessing is totally fine to have cruelty. Ideally, in these sort of teams, you also want to have a bolster set on this champion that has the highest crit damage. But if you don't, then try to make the champion that will get that initial hit at the start of the run have a lot of defense and health. As you see here, he manages to survive with 57,000 and 2.5, but it does get tricky here there because the boss can hit you very hard. So 324 crit damage. The relic here helps a lot with the crit damage, which is this one, the Malefic Talon at level 9. It does help. I didn't put anything here. Didn't think I need to. No masteries here, just a little bit of crit damage. That helps us. If you want to go all the way, you can go Flawless Execution for another 20%. It was just going to be a waste of 800 gems, right? And then finally, the final piece of the puzzle is Whisper. And it's her Crushing Rend that changes how would have gone about this takeover, right? Just how would have gone in terms of building the team. Whisper needs Crushing Rend to do insane amounts of damage. You've seen the videos on Hyder. You've seen how hard she can hit. She can't hit that hard without Crushing Rend. And it goes the same for many, many other champions. I've seen teams that have Crushing Rend, and it's not Whisper in there. It's not Newt. It's just 2 or 3 champions even that do a lot of damage because of Crushing Rend. They've got Crushing Rend. They're attacking epics, attacker-based epics, and they do very nice damage. But Whisper has that special thing on her kit, which allows for an extra hit here. So you double hit here, then you can go here and attack. And if the target has higher max HP than this champion, will ignore defense if the target is under weakened defense. So she does a lot more damage because of this. She self-buffs. I could have built her without crit rate. Right? If I had Farrak in the Fat, I could have built it without 100% crit rate, I mean, but I didn't want to waste my chances of building a solid Whisper, which can be used for the Hydra later on. So she's built with 100% crit rate. No crazy stats in terms of, guys, I'm talking end game teams that clear dungeons. 6,000 attack is by no means insane. It's very difficult to build it, but if you've got a 6-star blessed champion, 6,000 attack, it's not crazy. 310 crit damage, yeah, kind of crazy. 220 speed is not that crazy, but it does help for the Hydra, and it does help for this dungeon. Although you could have gone with way less speed. She doesn't need all that speed. All right, she could have been built with 210, 200 even. Also, instinct set, so only 20% ignore defense. If you've got Merciless, if you've got Savage, Cruel, definitely can go and hit much harder, but these were not available on the account. Also, did not have any upgrades through the live arena bonuses. So if you see here, if I press Phantom Shogun, here is where you can upgrade definitely the ignore defense to add on top of everything else that you're doing to do a lot more damage. So this is the team. If we fail to apply weaken with either Whisper, which she doesn't have any accuracy, 250, has almost zero chance to apply it. It's not zero, it's minimum 3% for this specific dungeon, then you won't do the extra turn here. Unfortunately, but the team still clears the dungeon even if she fails to do that, because it can be consistent. Riho is in there basically allowing for a cleanse after when that happens. So if we get a run where we don't apply defense down, maybe or weaken, we get a resist or something, I can definitely show that. But we get Newt to follow up. We attack again. Look at that beautiful thing. Following up with Whisper, big attack, and then boom, overkill with that A2, but still way worth it. With a triple ally attack, I'm not sure if it could have done it. A triple ally attack team here, I would say definitely if Riho was way faster, so she would apply defense down weaken first, and then the triple ally attack follows up with Whisper being the one just constantly hitting. But the crushing rend becomes so important. So this is an example of a team that you can build, guys, for Phantom Shogun. It's an end game team. There's many teams out there that can clear Phantom Shogun using reset champions, using newts. There's many teams out there. There's teams even with cold hearts available, but this is the one I built for this account today and wanted to showcase for you guys to get an idea of what to mix and match on your champions and what to keep an eye on to make this work. Okay, I could also try and make Lady Mikaiga do her A1 and then follow up with the A3, but it works with her opening up with the A3, for example, for this run. So that's why it works. Beautiful team, works very well. It's gonna be farming Phantom Shogun for this account. If you ever need any help, send me a message over in Discord, guys. I'll gladly help you out. Thank you all. Subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.